Sjoerd here today. I want to dive into some of the important lessons I've learned from my journey in the cryptocurrency space and investing in general, I would say. Especially in light of the last cycle with events like the Terra Luna crash. So, if you're looking for insights on how to navigate the volatile times that are definitely upon us, stick around and I will share you my tips that I have, and you just might find them valuable, and how you can avoid some of the pitfalls that I've encountered in the past few cycles. So let's get started. I will also give you some insights on what my exit strategy will look like at the end of the current cycle. So let's dive right in. Taking profits this cycle, reminders and learnings. First off, this presentation or this video started because one of our community members actually asked me this week, like, how do I actually get rich with the altcoin picks that you picked for us this cycle? So for everyone not familiar with the altcoin picks, I'm running a fundamental analysis based portfolio for the rational investor. You can find it on our website. One of the top picks and main positions I have is, for example, Rune and Render that we accumulated below $1. So how would I go around and answer this question? I think there isn't a straightforward question that applies to everyone, because define rich. It depends on where you live in the world, depending on your monthly needs, on your lifestyle. Maybe it's not about money, but it's about having the freedom to do whatever you want. Um, so there isn't a plain answer to this. But one thing is for sure: if you don't set goals up front, it's very possible that you will see all your gains being swept away in all the hype and euphoria of the markets. So, for example, Luna last cycle we went in around 60, 70 cents. The top was around $120, and then it crashed back down to zero. But because I had a plan in place, I was able to take some profits and make sure we paid ourselves during that opportunity that presented itself. So back to the Luna story. This, of course, is a famous tweet: deploying more capital, steady lads, which didn't age very well. So let's get over to let's go over some reminders for you guys and myself for this cycle. Some guiding principles, I would even say, for this space. One is being that you never should invest money you can't afford to lose. It sounds so easy and so simple, yet it's something very hard for people that I see around me. Remember, you're operating in crypto. This is venture capital at its core. It's on the edge of innovation. It can't get any more risky than this when you're investing your money, basically. Like I said, Rune is one of the big positions, but they are operating on the edge of swaps, native Bitcoin swaps, and this is like, although the project has been around several years, it has been hacked in the past as well. So remember that no matter how big the project or how good things are, things can take a downturn. Not just because of macro events, but maybe because of a team or some rumor or some new regulations. If something like that happens, you don't want to have your money locked in there, which you will need to pay off any debt that you took on, or any payments that you know that were coming. You just don't want to be reliable on any of the money you invested. This is what happened with Luna, as a quick reminder. So we were feeling on the top of the world around here, but you can see how quickly that sentiment changed. So in my own plan, I took a lot of money out, around 30, $40 area, because that was a target that I set for myself before we hit the target, saying, okay, if Luna will hit this price, I know my portfolio allocation of Luna will be this size, and with that amount of money, I can do some serious changes in my life, in real life. So let's make sure I lock that in. Um, Always should be paying yourself for your hard work. Don't fool yourself, but if you look on a day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis, you may be checking your portfolio, you're managing liquidity positions, you're managing the news, the Twitter rumors, all kind of chats you need to stay on top of. So make sure that you pay yourself for all the work you're doing. Don't let those profits just sit there on the table before it's too late. Just consider this as a job, although it isn't a real job, of course, but still see it as a job and make sure that you take some profits off the table if you're in good profits. Explain it to me like I'm 5. This is one of the advices and principles I also gave earlier on TOI. But if you are investing in a project and it becomes too hard to explain it very easily in just a few sentences, then you would have to question yourself as in, why am I investing in this project? Is that because it was just a good technical chart? Okay, fine, then you should have your stop loss, your entry, your target all there, and you're just executing your plan. Or is this because of some hype or FOMO, or you heard your neighbor or your nephew or someone else on the internet, some guru talking about this, but you don't really understand what's happening? So always do your own research and a good test to check if you did your own research is see if you can explain the project to a 5-year-old. If you can't, that's a bit of a red flag. So take that in mind. Be like water is what our friend Bruce Lee always said. So everything in life is temporary. Just look outside. Everything in nature is temporary. Nothing is here forever. And the same goes with crypto and projects. Nothing is too big to fail. Even giants like Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoins, they could all eventually go to zero. It's not about how likely it is, but just remember there is a chance that next month everything goes to zero. It's maybe a very small chance, but it's still a chance. So then you want to make sure that you are able to act if that happens. And again, don't have all your money invested there, which you don't know, but stay adaptable basically and make sure that you can change course when things are happening. Take profits off chain. This is one of the things that we didn't do very well last cycle on TOI. For TOI portfolio, we were also big on Luna. We were up big, but we parked our profits in USD instead of actual hard dollars. So keeping your gains in stablecoins on crypto, on the blockchain, isn't a foolproof method, I would say. You're still exposing yourself to the same risk of the market that gave you the profits in the first place. So take out those actual profits and put them in something else, like traditional currencies, bonds, stocks, houses, just something else than the same market that gave you the profits, I would say. And if the ship starts to sink, don't pray but jump. This is one of the rules, I believe it's rule 48 of Linda Bradford, that you have to be willing to cut your losses and move on when things go south. So don't stay on the sinking ship. I know my first or my second cycle, I clearly remember I had 6,000 or 7,000 USD. I went all the way up to 80,000, over 80,000, and then everything came back down to like 7,000 or 8,000 again. Because I didn't have a plan in place, I didn't do profits. I was just too focused on hitting $100,000, which was like this magic magnet number to me back then. And I just was blind for what was happening. So around 80,000, somewhere there, my portfolio peaked, and the ship started sinking, and I just sank along with it. And I should have just jumped and booked a $70,000 win there. So, like I said, have an exit plan, and have an exit plan that is set not necessarily on, okay, if Roon reaches $50, I will take profits because, I don't know, because it's $15. Well, if that's a plan, then that's a fine plan, but make the plan a little bit bigger and link it to things you can achieve with the money you will be taking profits on in real life. I mean, it's such an easy trap to fall into that if you would take profits at $15 to then dollar cost averaging everything to dollar cost average everything back in at like $6 or $7, but then you're still exposed to the same environment. So my plan really consists out of taking profits, but taking those profits out of crypto. Detach yourself from your mental peak net worth. This is also something I just mentioned, and it's very hard to do. And I believe Kobe is talking in lengths about this. But if you hit a certain number, let's say you're hitting 100,000 or 1,000,000 or 10 million, and you see your portfolio going down to like from 1 million to 900,000 to 800,000 to 700,000, always remember how much money that still is in real life. And it's so hard to then just say, okay, well, I need to go back to 1 million. And then you're going to make up excuses for yourself when you're sitting at 700,000 saying, okay, maybe, well, not 1 million, but maybe then let's say 850,000, and then I will go out. And then you might or might not hit 850,000, and you go down again to 600,000. And this is just a loop. So just make sure that you don't get emotionally attached to the peak worth of your portfolio. I think that also doesn't do you any good. So what matters is your current reality and how you can make the best of it. How I'm going to take profits this cycle? I think one of the things that I'm going to do, well, is that be really aware of the fact that how longer the cycle takes and how closer we're getting to an end, how less upside potential there is. So let's say Roon at the moment is sitting at $4. Render is sitting at $6. Let's say they both do a 10x. Roon sitting at 40, Render sitting at 60. Then just realize yourself that the chances of Roon going another 10x are a lot lower than dropping down again. And that just has to do with the market cap, for example, and the potential and the fact that we're longer in this cycle. So I'm going to be more aware of how long we are in the cycle already, combined with I have several hard dollar figures written out on a piece of paper next to me. And if I had to hit those numbers with my portfolio, I already know what numbers I'm going to take out. No buts or ors. I'm just going to act then because I know that the money I will be able to take out will have a meaningful and big impact on my actual life and my family. So even although I see a lot more potential, I should just follow my plan. And this is something that everyone should have, a plan that you keep reading day over, and so you already get used to the idea that you're going to act when it happens, and then you just need to execute. And it feels less scary because you promise yourself and you saw it day in, day out, that if you hit number X, you're going to act according Y. So that's what you really need to do. So be smart, take profits, and protect your hard-earned money. One of the other things I'm planning on doing is I have set a really high goal. When I will reach that goal, I'm going to treat myself with a nice in real life gift, just so that I can reward myself for taking out those profits. But because I remember and I feel like in last cycles when I took profits, it was kind of like a meh moment. Because chances are big that when you take profits and you get those euros or dollars on your bank account, you're like, okay, my life is still exactly the same. Nothing changed. So by then, promising yourself something small, actually something immediately changes in your life. So that's something I'm going to do as well to don't feel as bad if everything keeps going up. But then you have something immediately to show for in real life for yourself. But of course, it's personal for everyone. It can be an object. It can also be a nice trip with the family. It can be having a real nice meal at a five-star restaurant, something like that. But just make sure to treat yourself for actually pulling through with your plan and taking those profits. Don't forget that PMA is so important. We should stay very grateful for how this journey brought us at the point where we can take profits, because that's the actual goal, of course. So PMA for the win. Don't forget where everyone came for. Don't get an ego. Don't get your ego in the way. Just be grateful for the journey and the results. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give a little thumbs up and follow the channel. And if you are curious to our road to fundamental picks and the road to executing our plan, make sure to subscribe and join us in the Discord. I will post a link below in this YouTube video, and I see you next time. Keep learning, stay safe, and make sure you have a plan and execute on it. Cheers!